Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars. Check, check. A handful of races left to go here in our 2024 season as we welcome you back to Pennsylvania for another edition of Monday Night Madness in the Coast to Coast Racing League. Tonight, our Open 358s as well as 360 Sprint Cars take on the Lincoln Speedway. Well, this is for sure a race you don't want to miss out on as it's a tight little short track. We're so glad you could join us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you alongside Zach Chapman. Shaggy, we get set to go for racing here tonight. This has been really for 358s and even sprint car racing, a track that's been a little bit more dominant on the bottom. Do you think we possibly see the same thing tonight?
Yeah, you know, at least fighting for that middle line through 3 and 4. It's really tough to run real close to the bottom as well in 1 and 2. I mean, you got to be good to do it. If not, you're going to get that left front in the wall. And since that new update, you know, those front ends, they aren't as durable. So you got to be smart. You got to keep it out of the wall.
Qualifying is underway right now here around Lincoln Speedway. Drivers getting 2 laps. And we'll check the car count here in just a moment. Lap number 1 underway. Should see our first lap times come up on the board in just a moment. Brandon Templeton starts things off with a 15.947. Jeff Barker to the top of the charts, 15.879. Brian Dickens, 15.83. Ludovic Boussois, 15.86. So the Hammer Down 122 ride currently the quickest. Here's Boussois in the Glenn Steyers Racing 072 as the laps come up through the charts. Do we see anyone tick up a little bit faster? We see, I think, Jake Henry up to 11th. Sam Bachman to 4th. That may be his first lap. Isaac Salas goes second quick at 15:84 for the driver of the Venom Racing number 5 machine. Sam Bachman, though, purple in Sector 1. He's green in Sector 2. Quick time, 15:792. 1:5792 for the driver of the 007. Randy Shreves working on his final lap, and I believe the same can be said for John Morano. Across the line for Morano, 16:10 on lap number 2. 20 drivers make up the car count for tonight, so we have 3 heats set. And because of that, Anthony Morano, Brandon Templeton, Steve Bixter will be on the pole for each of the 3 heats. But the quickest man on track, Sam Bachman, at 15:792. Not bad of a way to get the night started here, Shaggy.
No, and I know you talked about John Morano there for a second, but how about it? He out-qualifies his son tonight. So heck of an effort for that 033. John's going to be proud of that one.
So we get set to go for our first heat race of the night. Heat 1 brought to you by Gambler Motorsports, an official team of the Coast to Coast Racing League. Here's the starting lineup as the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, starts on pole position. Next to him, it's Harold Klump for the Dirt Track Bank, number 2. Row 2, Ludovic Bourgeois in the 072. And next to him, Sam Bachman in the 007. Row number 3, it's the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in car 83. Bob to go next to him in car number 7. Final car on the grid, he's in the Mystery Machine, the Zach Chapman-owned 117, driven by Michael Todd. Disclaimer, car may not actually be owned by Zach Chapman.
No, I mean, that one's all made by him, but, I love seeing the Scooby-Doo themes. It's great.
We look at the points coming on in here tonight, Zach, and when you look at when we put in the 2 drops in effect, it is very tight. Isaac Salas comes in with a 2-point lead on Anthony Morano. Then you have Sam Bachman in 3rd, 21 points back. Trevor Giroux in 4th. He is about 27 behind. Dean Reynolds 5th, but not with us tonight as he is traveling down to Charlotte. We send him a big hello. Green flag, though, was out for heat race number 1. They stacked them up in row 3 on back, but the front 5 get away clean. Harold Klump to the point over Ludovic Bourgeois. And a little bit of contact between the top 2. Bourgeois comes across the line to lead the opening lap. So Morano had to drop to the back of the field. He's currently stuck in the 5th position for right now as we see Brandon Dittmer get a little bit tight for just a moment, Zach.
Yeah, I said in 1 and 2, it's tough to avoid that inside wall, and Anthony turns in a little early, and he's got to get out of the throttle. He goes from 1st to 5th, so Anthony, not what he wanted here, and, Isaac, I'm sure he's got a big smile on his face.
A lot of drivers are really pushing up the hill, really tight. Obviously, these are hard corners here. It's not long corners like Knoxville. These are pretty quick corners around Lincoln Speedway. Zach, you know this track better than anyone else here in Coast to Coast. Bourgeois, meanwhile, on the wall.
Yeah, easy to do, and you see guys do it all the time coming out of 3 and 4. I mean, Danny Dietrich's famous for it, slamming that right rear in the outside wall here. It sneaks up on you at 3 and 4. It's an awkward corner, and it straightens out so fast.
Bachman peaks underneath. Remember, it's open 358 setups. Our fixed league is on Thursday nights, and this is the battle for pole position. 3 laps to go. Everyone makes it in the show regardless, but watch out. Morano is cooking. 15:96 each of the last 2 laps. The quickest car on track, but his teammate Bachman still going after Bourgeois for the race lead. Can he get the grip off for turn 4? They bang with doors of the line.
Yeah, and the 32 loves every second of that here as he reels them in even closer. Now 2 more trips around. If Sam throws another big move in, the 32 might be able to creep up in here.
Final lap underway. Can the Glenn Steyer's 072 put her on pole, or will we see Sam Bachman get a run at it? Looking for one final time in the corner. Bachman sends it deep, clips the Jersey barrier. Bourgeois for turn number 4 starts on the pole tonight. Bachman 2nd, Morano 3rd, Klump 4th, Dittmer 5th, DeGooden 6th, and Todd 7th.
Yeah, and Sam, he made that mistake through 3 and 4, but did well enough there to keep it on the bottom and didn't let his teammate by for P2. And, that's 3 feature spots.
So now move on to heat race number 2, which is brought to you by Regency Home Inspection, proud partner of Brian Lawson and the rest of the Venom Racing team. Brandon Templeton beat Temp on the pole in car 31. Next to him, it's John Morano in the 33. Row number 2, it's the Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513, and Brian Dickens in the 122. Row number 3, Jake the Snake Henry in the 171, and the Bandit, Randall Dixon in the 011. Final car on the grid tonight, Kelly Wheeler in car 110. As we get set to go racing here tonight, let us know who you are rooting for and where you're checking in from.
I'm rooting for that 033 here. Come on, John Morano. He needs a good start.
And of course, as always, we'll give you a shout out live on the air as we're underway for heat race number 2. Your winner will start on the front row tonight as Morano gets away with the early lead. That's who Zach is rooting for, but this may not last long. Templeton with the yeet. Morano goes up the hill and falls back down to third. Hammer Down Racing 1-2 at the moment. Jeff Barker looking for third, but he pushes up. John Morano trying to hang on to that 33.
Yeah, John probably trying to recover from that whiplash coming out of 4 and minding his own business. Got the door slammed to him. Now he's got to go to work here as battle's turning up behind him.
He's really struggling, though, on corner exit. As Barker peeks underneath for that third position, doesn't seem to work. Randall Dixon may have a chance to catch up to the 513 for the spot. But still got a good race for the lead, though, as Templeton and Dickens go at it. But that 122 just following his teammate. Drivers here, I think, with them being teammates, they just want to play it safe than sorry for right now.
Yeah, at least build up that gap a little bit here. And if Brian does have anything, probably doesn't want to show his cards too early. Wait until a lap or 2 to go.
Templeton up in the chocolate chips, trying to scrape the top off. Dickens about car length and a half behind. Behind them in the battle for 4th. Dixon underneath on the Brute and Beast. Can he take away the 4th spot? Not sure if he'll be able to do so just yet. 3 to go in this heat, Zach.
Yeah, and right now, you know, since he got the elbow out here, it's been the story, the 31 out front. But the 122, he's not going away here. And with 2 more trips around, now's the time to make your move, and he looks low through 1 and 2.
On board that 122. Templeton just so good on corner exit. Dickens, though, a little bit better on corner entry, trying to find moisture on the baby bottom. White flag waves, final lap in heat race number 2. I don't think we'll see Dickens try the slider on Templeton this time. We'll have to hope for the 31 to make a mistake.
No, yeah, just not going to have the momentum here after running the bottom through 1 and 2. I think he kind of realized, hey, a 1 and 2 for the team, that's pretty good right now.
Dickens starts 5th, but Brandon Templeton see the checkers and wins heat 2. Barker 3rd, John Morano 4th, Randall Dixon 5th, Jake Henry 6th, and Kelly Wheeler in 7th. One more heat race left to go, brought to you by Maurer Farm Management, and here's the starting lineup. The mayor, Steve Bixler on the pole in car 75. Next to him, the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux, also in the 75. So the 75's on pole position. Imagine if they were 76s. That'd take you back to the Winston Cup days. Randy Shreves inside of row number 2. Next to him, it's the Send It Man, Isaac Salas, Slide Job Salas in the 5. I'm trying to differentiate these two between Slide Job or Send It. You know what I mean? Final row tonight, Randy Shreves, the 56. Oh, I'm sorry, Bud Molyneux in the 883 to the outside of Canada Connor Ross, the 35. Green flag waves, final heat race underway. Drew comes out with the early lead. His Venom Racing teammate trying to follow him off at turn number 2. Bixler getting a little bit tight. Shreves tries to take evasive action of it. Bixler may have an odd angle going to the corner, and that seems to be the case as he pushes way up the hill as the Philly Flyer leads lap number 1 here, Zach.
Yeah, got a good enough run, though, out of 2 that he could go slot up if he wanted to, but he decides to poke it back underneath the 5, and now you got to wonder, can Randy Shreves? No, he closes the door for now.
All watching that battle for third closely. Contact, Shreves up in the air for just a moment, hangs on to it, tries to send her top shelf on the track as you're right on board with a 56. Bixler really hanging on to that car for dear life.
Yeah, dedicated though to keeping it in the basement. You got to give him that, leaving the top lane available. And now, well, if he looks below him, Canada Connor here, he's coming. He wants a piece of this.
Isaac Salas, quickest driver on track, 16:05 last lap. His best lap at 15:96. To Giroux's 15:98, stays a car length behind. It seems to be like teammates right here are doing the jobs here in the heat races, finishing 1-2. I don't think we'll see Salas maybe try and make a move on Giroux unless it's the last lap.
Well, you know, we've seen these guys battle hard before, and Isaac knows it's a lot easier to pass, get a 3-for-1 deal here if he can get around his teammate, but Isaac looks to be maybe blinking a little bit here, at least for me, so if he is, he'll probably just stay in line and settle down.
I wonder if he's still using AOL over Spectrum or whatever they have up in North Dakota, Xfinity or Optimum, I don't know. 1 lap to go here in heat race number 3. Giroux still up half car length on Salas. Shreves looking to close it in that 56. Salas tries the diamond 1 and 2, but that may be tough, or an inverted diamond rather. Giroux prevents the slider line from being used on Salas. Checkers wave. Trevor Giroux wins heat race number 3.
Yeah, he tried to, you talked about it. I mean, he tried to exit real high and find grip, but it just doesn't look like it's there yet in 1 and 2.
Shreves, Bixler, Ross, Molyneux round out your top 6. I will step aside for our first break of the night. Drivers are about to warm up. When we come back, our first feature. Stay with us right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups continuing here at Lincoln Speedway. Ludovic Boussois the quickest of 15:93. Anthony Morano second, 16 even. Randy Shreves third, 16:02. Connor Ross fourth at a 16:03. And Isaac Salas fifth at 16:05. There's Harold Klump currently in the 12th quickest lap. Jason Butterfield says, let's go Venom Racing. Biggest Venom Racing fan we have. And finally, Michael Todd says, Zach, you can gladly take ownership of the 117. LOL. That call had some ring to it.
Well, you know, I mean, if he wants me to, I will. It's good-looking paint. I didn't want to take his credit. The
Zach Chapman Racing owned 117. Ooh, Connor Ross with a wild ride. After he hit that opening where from the pit stands to, or not the pit stands, from the grandstands directly to the racetrack. Anyway, we are set to go for our first feature of the night. Let's meet the field in the RSN trackside. Starting lineup. On the pole, Ludovic Boussois in the 072. Next to him, B-Temp Brandon Templeton in the 31. Row number 2, the Philly Flyer, Trevor Drew in the 075, and Sam Bachman in the 007. Row number 3, Brian Dickens in the 122, and Slide Job Isaac Salas in the 5. Row 4, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32, and the Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Rounding out the top 10 tonight, Randy Shreves in car 56 and Harold Klump in the 2. Row number 6, John Morano in the 33 and the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. Row 7, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83 and the Bandit, Randall Dixon in the 011. Row number 8, Connor Ross, Canada Connor in the 35 and Bob DeGood in the number 7. Row 9, it is Jake the Snake Henry in the 171 and Bud Molyneux in the 83. Final row tonight, Michael Todd in the 117 and Kelly Wheeler in the 110. Picks to win tonight, Zach, we'll start with you.
You know, I don't think, I don't know, Marty, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't believe that 075's won a race this year, but man, Trevor Giroux, he's on the hunt for one. He's had a lot of top threes, and he's due in that 075.
Alrighty. I'm going to go with the guy starting in 7th, that being Anthony Morano. So
Yeah,
Steve
we
King
talked about the bottom probably working at the end, and Marty, you know he can do it better than anyone.
So Steve King Foundation pace car is on pit road, ready for the flatline racing bodies. Green flag. First time tonight that it's time to shake and bake. Boussois and Templeton bring us to green. It's time to get it on. Three wide for the top spot already. Brandon Templeton gets through to go to the point early. However, though, Giroux looking low, Boussois looking low. Ray rubs all over that 31. Little bit of contact there, but Templeton clears to lead the opening lap, Zach. But the yellow flag waves. Jake Henry is one that has crashed. I think we had some other drivers involved in an accident. Michael Todd, Kelly Wheeler, Randy Shreves in the back.
Yeah, Steve Bixler and Randy Shreves, I believe, kick it off in the middle of 1 and 2, and it kind of stems from there.
That appears to be the case. Steve Bixler and Randy Shreves, you said?
Yeah, you know, and you know, I'm not sure if John Morano had anything to do with it, but he sends it in there pretty deep. He kind of gets into Steve, and a lot of stuff happens at once.
Yeah, Morano got a piece of that as well. Let's ride on board with Michael Todd here. This will be the only onboard we watch, because then we got to go green because it's quick laps around Lincoln. Lights are still on, so I think that gives us a chance to watch one more on board, and we'll ride on board with Randy Shreves. Got up on 2 wheels for a moment. I'm just trying to hang on to that puppy. So we did get a lap in. Templeton, Boussois, row number 1. Bachman, Giroux, row 2. Salas, Dickens, row 3. Barker, Morano, row 4. Klump and Morano round out the top 10. B-Temp selects the inside line here for this restart. We will try this once again. 1 lap, or excuse me, 2 laps are complete here at Lincoln Speedway. And Boussois, I'm not sure about that. That may be a penalty possibly. Yellow flag wave, so I don't know if that would be an issue once again. Connor Ross, Michael Todd get together in the back. And so turn 2, Calamity Corner early. Let's look at the start of this one.
Yeah, it starts up there with Dittmer somewhere. I think Dittmer gets into the back of somebody who's already sitting still. Or John Morano and Harold Klump, I believe, get into it and come down. Harold comes down in front of Dittmer.
Now, I was looking at the front of the fields because Templeton was the leader after the opening lap.
Yeah, and you know, I was gonna say I do have the race chat on, Marty, and I mean nothing was discussed about that. I haven't heard anything. Brandon didn't say anything, but I mean, yeah, we're both kind of thinking the same thing here. I mean, I did hear iRacing say green flag, and I don't know if Brandon maybe thought he could make the start go later, because I mean, once you do see that green, you do want to fire, but I don't know. 072, he's in a weird place right now.
Contact in front of Connor Ross in a 3-wide situation, just left with absolutely nowhere to go. So try this again. This time she will be double file one more time. So Boussois is the leader this time from the looks of it, with Templeton next to him. We're going to watch this restart from the Chapman Racing drone, so I believe this will be our final double file restart coming on up. Hopefully we get some green flag laps in.
Green flag, green flag.
Boussois fires. We're back underway. Bad jump from Templeton. Look at Salas trying to get the advantage and move up to the second position. Contact between Templeton and Bachman, bumper to bumper for just a moment. The 31 tries to slide with the 5, keeps the 5 with the lane as Boussois continues to lead. He gets into the wall. Salas peeks underneath. Nearly 4 wide for the top spot, Zach.
Yeah, Templeton did a good job there getting on the binders as Salas sends it in here. We got a lead change. Can the 072 counter back?
Oh, maybe not. He got it at the line, but Dickens, Giroux gets sideways, and we have a pile up. Dickens, you see Barker, Bixler, all involved in this. It all started with this 122 car. Giroux just got completely sideways. And man, Dickens with all 4 wheels off the ground. That shows you how bad of a hit that was. It sounds like we had some extracurriculars too with Jeff Barker possibly.
Yeah, he ends up getting spun in 1 and 2. And, well, Trevor, it's real tough to catch here, but going through 3 and 4, he barely gets into the inside wall, Marty, and that's what shoots him back up the track. So it gets real tight on him after getting into the inside wall and just run out of room with 2 guys above him.
We saw Jeff Barker. He had no steering going to turn 1. Yep, you see it right there for the onboard Dickens. Giroux just barely clipped that Jersey barrier. Man, a big impact for Brian Dickens, that's for sure. So Salas, the new leader. Again, keep in mind we'll have to watch an eye out for on the race results to see where Boussois finishes, especially if it's inside the top 3. Templeton 3rd, Bachman 4th, Anthony Morano 5th, John Morano 6th, Harold Klump 7th, Trevor Giroux 8th, Kelly Wheeler 9th, Bud Molyneux 10th. After 5 laps, Kelly, your biggest mover, he started 20th and is up to the 9th position. We come back to green. Boussois tried to time the restart. Jumped it just a little bit, made contact with Salas, but we're back underway.
Yeah, and that's only going to cost him, Then he's got to check up, and Isaac can go, and now he feels the heat from behind him. Here's Sam Bachman. He's trying to find a way around that 31, but he's being patient for now.
Bachman knows he's got a good race car. Same with Anthony Morano. They'll play her safe than sorry for right now. Let the tires heat up. Make sure they didn't seal over underneath that last caution flag. Here comes Bachman as Templeton kisses the wall for just a moment. Downstairs in Mama's basement. Can he grab 3rd off the corner? Don't think he can just yet. B-Temp edged him out. But Bachman hit the Jersey barrier. Not what you want to do there. Allows Morano to get through to 4th.
No, and not the first person to do it tonight. Won't be the last. As turn 1 and 2, one of the most difficult tracks on the sim here. And Anthony, remember what happened in that heat race? The 31 maybe laid a little elbow to his pop. So keep an eye on this battle for 3rd here as this starts to heat up.
We saw as well Morano sent a little bit too deep last lap into turns number 3 and 4. That allowed Templeton to hang on to 3rd for right now. But still, Isaac Salas, your race leader by about 0.4 of a second on Ludovic Boussois as we are 10 laps complete. Get you your 5-lap average in just a matter of moments. We're still watching this battle for 3rd very closely. Let's go to 6th as John Morano's having a great run so far, trying to hang on over Trevor Giroux. I don't know how the 075 does not have that much damage. I think I just heard somebody else grip the wall, but I think everybody else is all good to go.
Yeah, there's no way the steering's not bent a little bit on that 075. It can't be 100% healthy, but Trevor, one of the better drivers we have, he's going to do his best to bring it home and try to at least get a top 10.
Caution flag waves. We saw the 5-lap average. Salas, the quicker driver. Yellow is out for Brandon Dittmer.
You know, he does this by himself. Marty just gets a little bit lost up there in the dust in 1 and 2, and the rear end comes around.
Yeah, just got into a little bit too sideways. Right on board with the Spider Monkey. I think that I saw Michael Todd as well do a nice job to miss that.
You're the 32 here, you know. We know how bad he wants this championship, Marty, and seeing his foe up here in first place, he knows he's got to get on the go here. So look for Anthony Morano to start being pretty aggressive here on these restarts.
Remember, with drops, it is a 2-point lead for Isaac Salas over Anthony Morano as we are ready to come back to the green flag.
Green, green, green.
Back to the green flag. Boussois gets a little bit tight, tried to send it deep in 1 and 2 for the race lead. Salas holds serve. Morano, meanwhile, trying to gather third from Brandon Templeton. See if that works out. Does he have the bottom put in just yet? Not really, as we work lap 14. Salas hanging on over the 072.
Yeah, you know, it looks like he's making it work real well, Morano, I mean, in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2, Marty, it is just so shiny the whole way through. I mean, here in 3 and 4, you see he finds that tack on exit and can plant the throttle, but man, 1 and 2 so difficult right now. He's got to move up.
Yeah, without question, he's got to move up. It's just so tough right now. Again, we mentioned this is primarily a one-groove track, so really a race that's all about track position here. Didn't know if we'd see any changes that make it work here in open 358s, but apparently not, as Bachman's underneath on Morano for that 4th position. Morano nearly gets too wide where he popped the wall. Hangs onto her, though, for right now. Still trying everything to grab that 3rd spot from Brandon Templeton. Can he grab him here in 1 and 2, though?
Ah, man, I don't know. It doesn't look very promising. I mean, Sam Bachman, the lap before, hit 1 and 2 almost perfect on the bottom. I mean, kept the left sides right in the tack, and those guys drove away from him. It's just so hard to hit 1 and 2 on the bottom.
Salas still remains your race leader. 0.4 of a second the advantage on Boussois. Here we go. Morano underneath for 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, if he could get a big enough gap in between Boussois and Templeton here, he could throw a slider. I mean, 3 and 4, this track's known for sliders in 3 and 4, but he needs a big enough gap to slot that car in.
There's Morano with a slider on Templeton. Keeps the lane for the 31. Man, I tell you what, if Boussois wasn't right there. Oh, look at that send from the 32. Templeton able to counter it back. Just enough room between the 31 and the 072 where Morano can slot in line, but Templeton does the same thing right back to him. 9 laps to go.
Yeah, but now you got to think advantage 32 here as he can slot right back in if he doesn't have to crack the throttle. He does and holds firm, but whoa, he left the lane open, but B-Temp gets in the wall.
There may have been some contact between him and the 32. May leave the door open for Bachman to grab the 4th, but it's rough to see. And Morano slams the door right in Templeton's face to make sure that slider line is not used. They pull up side by side and touch once again.
Yeah, they're talking to each other right now, laughing about it. They're having fun, both saying a sorry. So they're enjoying this as much as we are, man, side by side for that final podium spot.
Remember, we still got a race for the lead, too. Salas and Boussois still going at it with 6 to go. Remember, Boussois may not finish in second in the end of this because keep in mind, he may have jumped our first restart where it could give him a penalty possibly. We're not sure how that's all going to lay down after we take the checkers. 5 fingers in the air for Barney. 5 laps to go.
And now Anthony's thinking about doing that same thing here. Not enough
Oh, they
room
touch
just
again.
Yet,
Rubbing Nerf bars down the back. Boussois not having any of it either.
This is what you love to see here, but they touch again here, and now Anthony's got the room. Can he throw it in?
Oh, both of them went in way too deep, though. Boussois got too high up the track. He went. Still Morano with the advantage. Slide job possibly by the 32. You bet. Morano up to second. 3 laps to go. Salas wants this bout to keep happening.
Yeah, he does, but, Isaac needs to realize he's got to run his line here. Don't get too defensive here. Gonna have 2 laps to go, but that's plenty of time here if he gets off his game for Anthony to strike.
Look at the last 5 laps here between Morano and Salas, though. Salas is the slower car. Morano, the best driver on the racetrack. Here's a look at the final 5-lap average right now at the moment. You see Morano is clearly better. Will we have a chance at Salas for the race win? Your top 2 in the championship, 1 and 2, with 1 lap to go. Salas making sure that slider line's not being used by Anthony Morano as he defends. Does he do the same thing in 3 and 4? Yes, he does. The Venom Racing Super New Car Series number 5 makes his way through 3 and 4. Checkers wave. Another W for Isaac Salas. Morano second, Boussois third, Bachman fourth, and Templeton fifth. Callie Wheeler, your biggest mover from last to 7th.
Back to back for Isaac, man. And you know what happened last week? He went on to win the Rebels sprint car, too. So we'll have to see if Isaac can maintain.
So Ludovic does finish in the 3rd position in the Glenn Stires Racing 72. John Morano also with a great run, finishing in the 8th position. Same with Bud Molyneux up 9 spots tonight. Heartbreak of the night. Oh, man, that's a tough one. Probably would have to give that one to Brian Dickens in this one.
Yeah, I mean, he was just minding his business, following his teammate there, Brandon Templeton, and, got pounded into the outside wall. It was a tough break for him.
Alrighty, so I believe, do we have our top 3? They're coming in right now, from what I've heard. So stand by while we get that set. And we have them all in. So we'll begin with our 3rd place finisher in Ludovic. Alrighty, so I've been wondering this for weeks now, Ludovic. How do you pronounce your name?
Ludovic Buisson.
Boussois.
It's French.
Man, how do you say it so well?
Yeah, it's French Canadian, so that's why you have some difficulty to pronounce it.
I was just giving you a hard time. I'm sure you can say your name well. Yeah.
Is it Boisson? Is that it? Is that it?
Yeah, a little bit. Buisson.
Brisson. Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Buisson.
All right. I've been wondering this for many weeks. When the heck am I going to pronounce his name correctly? But hey, your best finish at least on a modified Monday night, man. Not bad. But just trying to hang on. Was track position really a factor here tonight at Lincoln?
Yeah, for sure. And that's my first podium, and I'm pretty proud. But I have no setup in those races, so I'm racing with fixed setup and e-racing. So I just take the Lincoln setup and I put it there, and I knew that at this track the best way to get around is to do a slider or just to keep the line up and the outside. And when I start first, that's rarely that's a good spot to get in the podium.
So
Sorry
you're
for my poor English, huh? Sorry, guys. I'm trying my best.
you're good. You're good.
Your
Completely
English is a lot better
understand.
than our French.
Yes, it is. It is. I mean, although I will admit I was trying to learn French when I was at Cornwall a couple weeks ago. Some
Oh,
people were surprised I was pretty good at it, but no, I suck at
All right, let's
French.
hear it. No, let's hear it. You don't get off that easy. Let's hear something.
Okay. Let's see here. I need to load up my Translate app because that's how I was doing all this.
oh,
All right, not now. What are you doing to me, Siri? Okay, so you know my start call. It's time to get it on.
yeah.
Il est temps de le mettre.
What?
Crickets. Okay.
Uh,
Anyway, moving on from that. Let's talk about you. So you're not even using the Swan baseline setup that's provided either. You're just using the iRacing setup.
I wasn't know that I didn't know someone was giving a setup or no, I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, hey, regardless, great run. That was fun. That was a fun race between you and Morano, that's for sure. Who do you want to give
Yeah.
shout outs to?
I'm part of 360 Nitro, so give it a shout out to them and thank you guys for making this great stream and make visibility for the guy who run there regularly. I don't know if I said right, but you know what I mean.
Yes, we know what you're talking about. Well, Ludovic, great job, and we'll make sure not to mess your last name up the rest of the way. So, great job tonight, man. Well, hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Thank you, man.
All right, Ludovic Boursois. No, I'm sorry, Boursois. I already broke the promise already after 10 seconds.
I like the Discord Ludo though. I think I'm going with that. from
Ludo
now on.
72. Ludo Boursois. That's not bad. All right, Anthony Morano. Zach, you got it.
Hey, Ant-Man, Shaggy up here. You got a copy?
What's going on, buddy?
Well, hey, man, I was privy to the race chat tonight, and I heard you and Brandon Templeton exchanging sorries, man. How much fun was that throwing sliders back and forth? I mean, we know it's hard to do here, especially at Lincoln, so you're going to rub a little bit, but, man, you guys did it as clean as you could, and it was fun to watch.
Yeah, see, that's one thing I do like is when you can race, like me and Isaac, especially. We've not sat down, obviously, but we're like 1,500 miles apart. But we've talked about it. The rubbing is racing thing. It goes a long way, especially dirt cars and on all tracks or tight corners, like say Lincoln. There's never an intentional door or anything like that. It's just the line I was running and Brandon was running his line, and we touched here and there, and it was just racing. That's all it was. There's nothing trying to. I wasn't trying to wreck him. He wasn't trying to wreck me. We were just racing in a tight spot, and you're gonna have that. It's the disadvantage of the 2X system, but that's how you have to race on dirt and how you have to race on tight little tracks. I mean, I don't go around dooring people, but that's just. I wasn't dooring Templeton. I was just running a slide line, and he cut down at the same time. And then I think the next time we got together was just a slider going into a corner and running his line. I was running my line, so it's just racing. That's how it's supposed to be. Good, hard racing, just like that.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I mean, you go to any dirt track around the country, and that's what you're going to see. There's a difference between rubbing somebody to move them off their line and turning them around. And you guys put a good example of how to do that correctly. So good run there. But, you were able to get by the 72 fairly quickly. But, were you just hoping for a caution there? Because, I mean, dude, the lap times don't lie. You were coming. I mean, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but maybe a couple more laps, and we're talking to you on the top step.
It was weird. I found this weird line that I never had run here before. That's for sure. It was like you go in a corner low and you slide up at just above the slick spot there. There was a ton of grip coming out of the corner, and the car just hooked up and launched. And that's how I got up to Ludo, and the line I was running, I got into Templeton there, and we were racing side by side. And it was like the second I hit it, and I'm in the Discord with Sam, and I'm like, dude, you got to hit that line. You're right behind me. Just follow me into that line. It's just like a sweet spot. And Isaac's like, I heard you on the bottom. Like, yeah, but I wasn't all the way down on the bottom, buddy. So, it was track was great. A lot of room to move around. It was really, really racy. It was actually pretty smooth. I mean, I know you ran the matinee this afternoon, and it was rough, but track was top shape tonight. So I'll take that.
Yeah, man, it really was. And, you put on some great racing going up through the field. So congratulations, Anthony. Good run, man. Who you want to thank on the P2?
Yeah, I got to thank my wife, Sherry, the boys at FTM. It's my nephew Owen's birthday, so happy birthday to him. Dean at Super Air Car, Logan at High Mom Lens, Swan Speed Shop. These digs are insane lately. He's been putting in the time, and it's been showing a lot for us on the track everywhere we're running. Casper Flagstone, Expert Installation, DJ Sim Shop, Bowman's Designs, MDI TV, griphack.com. You and Marty for doing a broadcast, everyone at Coast to Coast, and Regency Homes Designs for sponsoring the division.
Hey, great run tonight, Anthony. And tell your dad I'm sorry for wrecking him so many times this afternoon. I'm still rusty.
He was struggling quite a bit today. He was having all sorts of problems the second we unloaded the car, so I'll let him know.
All right, man. Great run. Look forward to talking to you again here later.
Thanks, buddy.
So that's Anthony Morano, our second place finisher here. Now we go to victory lane. We get to talk to our winner, Isaac Salas. Isaac, another great win for you, man. Starting 6th to 1st. We thought this was a race about track position, but it wasn't really for you. Take me through the pass on Bristol to get it done.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the line was there. It was a little bit of multi-groove, but definitely one line for most of it. The goal was to just kind of, once he gave me that good starting spot on the restart, was to kind of either match him or be better in turn 1 and 2. And if the option was there, kind of, just clear him up. And if he went back underneath me, I would have top the next lap for 1 and 2. But luckily cleared him and then got a quick caution basically right after that, which kind of really gifted me the lead without much fight, which was pretty awesome. I know that he fought me all the way to the bitter end there for sure. I could hear him and I could hear Morano every once in a while like rip the bottom or the middle, and I heard him and I was like, man, I guess bottom 1 and 2, here we go.
Were you aware that Anthony had a much better 5-lap average in those final few laps, even when he was racing Templeton for position?
I did not, but it doesn't surprise me. I'm pretty sure I was off a little bit on gear ratio and just had a little bit too much in it. I was probably, not geared correctly. And I'm pretty sure he said that he found a really good line, and I was kind of just trying to survive there. So that's the advantage of getting out front first.
Absolutely was, man. A great win, that's for sure. Starting things off 1 for 1. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to Venom Racing, Dean in the Super Dirt Car Series. It's good to see him on his way back to his rig. We'll see if he can actually make a show here sometime during the week. Magnum Race Designs, Tommy Gun Customs with that new car. I was very skeptical to bring it out on a league night. There's green on it, so it has me all worried. Superstitions die hard. JRB Designs, RSN Trackside, Mission 22, Top Notch Trucking, Shaggy TV, Regency Home Inspections, Mom, Dad, Gramps for watching, Kelsey for watching, my friends. I think that's about covering it. And
Arlen.
It's Arlen, by the way.
That's right, not Mark. Sorry, Gramps.
Yeah, he's on my dad's YouTube. There you go. That's what it is.
Well, great job, Isaac, and best of luck in the 360 sprint car coming up in just a moment.
Awesome, thank you. Let's try to go for yet another Triple Crown.
Absolutely. Isaac Salas, your race winner here at Open 358s. When we come back, we've got the Rebels taking over Lincoln. Stay with us, the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight when we talked about it.
We are back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. The Rebels are underway, and they actually just wrapped up qualifying moments ago. They went in quicker than we expected, but hey, it's all good. Joseph Grandy, the quickest in time trials, and we are ready to go for heat race number 1. Here's a look at how they line up for our Gambler Motorsports heat race. Ludovic Bousseau on the pole position, the 072. Next to him, it's Brian Moore Jr. in the 09. Row 2, it's Shaggy Zach Chapman, the 72. And 100 grand, Joseph Grandy in the 518. Row number 3, Slide Job Isaac Salas in the number 5. And the Bassman Roger Craig in the 747. Final car on the grid tonight, well, that is Michael Todd in the 117. No call for Moore Jr. on the grid, so we are stuck with these guys. Zach, wishing you best of luck here in Heat 1.
Yeah, tough break for Brian. I think I did see him out here, but Marty, I bet you same thing happened to him that happened to me last week. Probably realized he didn't have enough gas in it.
Possibly. So, how many do we have for a car count tonight? Do you know?
No, I believe it's around 15.
So
maybe
2
16.
heats then, probably about 14 then, because we got 7 in this heat.
Yeah, yep, 2 heats then, probably 13 or 14.
Alrighty. Well, good luck, man.
Yep, appreciate it.
Well, everyone will start on the inside line except for Joseph Grandy. This is a very weird moment for sure. But everyone makes it in the show. The winner is on pole position for our 30-lap feature. Here we go. Green flag waves for Heat 1. Bousseau as out in front. Grandy underneath for the race lead on the 72. Tucks her back in line. Clips the wall for just a moment. Diamonds 3 and 4. 100 grand. Big contact with Bousseau. How did both of them keep her straight? I have no idea. But Bousseau up in the wall once again. And he's lost the rear end of the race car. He has to start for the rear tonight. Chapman is up to second. Isaac Salas in third. Michael Todd fourth. And everyone makes the show. On board with Zach Chapman as he's looking for the lead on Joseph Grandy. Once again, the high side, the place to be at Lincoln on corner exit. You want to be low in corner entry. Chapman nearly did a wheelie there off of turn 2. Quicker than Grandy at a 13.69 last time around. 13.67, 400's better than 100 grand. Brian Moore Jr. just made his way out of the racetrack moments ago, so he started from the pits. He has the quickest lap of this one at a 13.64. Still watch for this bow of the race lead very closely. Grandy decides to go high, wide, and handsome, and then entire corner of 3 and 4. Final lap is underway for the Inferno Motorsports 518. Looking likely he'll put it on pole tonight. Started 4th in this heat. He was the quickest in qualifying, and that is the case. Joseph Grandi, your winner in Heat 1. Zach Chapman 2nd, Isaac Salas 3rd, Michael Todd 4th, Roger Craig 5th, Brian Moore Jr. 6th, and Ludwig Buswol 7th. Alrighty, Zach, nice heat race there. You start on 3rd tonight.
Yeah, got to burn up the top a little more. I mean, as you see, it's pretty one lane. You can run a guy down, but man, you try to go down on that bottom, it's tough. I heard you describe it pretty well. The car wants to float up high on exit so bad, and if you got to pinch it off, it's tough to hold that run.
We move on to heat race number 2, brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. And once again, the mayor on pole position. Steve Bixler in the 75. Next to him, Randy Shreves in car 56. Row number 2, Brian Moore Jr. Sr. in the 558. And Dylan Berg, who was second quick in qualifying, starts 4th. Final row tonight, Steve Maurer in the 888. And Cale Bixler in the 789.
And we actually, Marty, we had 19 people, so it's 3 heats. 3 heats
here. Oh,
here.
nice.
I was way off.
That's great to have 3 heats. So that means you start 4th tonight.
Green flag, green flag.
Yes, sir, it does.
Green flag is out for heat race number 2. The mayor got a little bit tight off of turn number 4, allows Randy Shreves to come out with the advantage. Dylan Berg trying to waste no time and go 2 for 1 off the corner. Nearly 3 wide and 1 driver hard of the wall with Steve Maurer. Barrel rolling once again into the infield.
Brian Moore Sr., man, he said, I watched Shaggy struggle. I'm not going to. Well, he made it work there on the bottom to get by Bixler, but now reality set in, and I don't know. It's going to be real tough to make that bottom work here for a pass for the lead.
He had no yaw in the center of 3 and 4 and got really sideways. Almost opened the door for Bixler to take away the 3rd spot. But Dylan Berg on a mission. A 10th better than Randy Shreves last time by. Can he get the lead next time by? We're halfway home, 4 up and 4 down. Or check that. 4 up and 4 down this time by.
He got a good run there through 1 and 2, but stepped out sideways a little bit on corner exit. And now Randy Shreves drives up over the cushion a little bit. And, man, that 14 is all over him. He's going to have to get aggressive and send it in. The
really big issue I see off of turn number 2, it's really easy to get that car up in the air as Berg tries to slide job Randy Shreves for the race lead. The 56 hanging on, though, for dear life. 3 laps to go in this heat.
And that's what I talked about. We need the top to burn up a little bit. I mean, he sent it in there, but Randy's just able to get such a good run through the middle of the corner.
Whoa.
Still so much tack there. And Dylan, man, he's sending it, but he just can't get it to stay.
Yeah, that was way too much yaw. Berg had to lift and correct it. Luckily didn't overcorrect it, that's for sure. You saw there, a little bit over the bump in turn number 2. That gets that car up in the air with the right front. Final lap underway for Randy Shreves of the 56. 0.3 of a second lead on Dylan Berg. Does the 14 try to send it? No, Dylan Berg keeps her on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Shreves slams the door. Berg tries to cross over, but Randy Shreves wins. Berg second. Moore Sr. third. Bixler 4th. Maurer 5th, and Bixler 6th.
That almost backfired with Randy getting defensive there through 3 and 4. Man, that's why sometimes it's just better to focus out that front windshield. Randy was running good all race and almost gave it away.
One more heat race left to go, and it is brought to you by Maurer Farm Management. Here's the starting lineup. The big dog on pole position, Ryan Beagle in the 84. Next to him, it's Steve O'Donovan Ross in car number 83. Oh, excuse me, no, car number 5. Row 2 is the 83 of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer, and B-Temp in the 31. That's Brandon Templeton. Final row tonight, Greg Parmalee in the number 4, and the captain, Gary Taylor, in car 34. Winner starts on the inside of row number 2. We missed Beagle in open 358s, but we're glad to see him out here in the Rebels with his RK Automotive machine.
Green flag, green flag.
Wasting no time, green flag waves. Here we go for heat 3. 2x2 off the corner. Donovan Ross immediately has Ryan Beagle cleared. Dittmer goes up the hill a little bit, allows Templeton to have third, but it's Devo that leads the opening lap.
Yeah, I know. Devo knows this is the difference between third and sixth here, and if he wins this heat race, he's a legitimate threat here to win the feature. So watch out. If the follow
Templeton got Beagle. Both of them do a 360 and keep her going. That front end definitely lifting off the ground for Beagle for just a little bit. Be a lot of it, so may have suffered some front end damage on that race car. But Donovan Ross, this could be a track where he's good at. It's a little bit similar to Limerland, where he won his first ever Rebels race at, and also could be a little bit similar as well to Lucas Oil, kind of. Would you agree, Zach?
Yeah, for sure. And almost, the way turn one is, it's a weird weed sport. I mean, it's a couple tracks all piled up into one, and Devo's good at those oddball tracks.
Whoa.
But, he's not running out of gas, is he? That couldn't have been what that was.
No, that could not have been. Dittmer's just looking really good, though. He's been quicker than Ross these last few laps or so. Dittmer knows he's got a better race car than the 5. And, man, Devo really defensive down the back chute. Both of them get tight. Dittmer's got a big run off for 4 here. And that 83 goes through the point, but he clips the Jersey barrier. Devo can counter this one back down the back again. Send it, Ross. Oh, man, too much send, and Dittmer takes the lead with 1 to go.
Yeah, kissed that left rear off the inside wall and made a bike around. And now the Spider Monkey, well, I'm going to get to start beside him in row number 2, it's looking like.
Well, Brandon Dittmer makes his way through in turns number 3 and 4, and that paint scheme's just been good luck to him once again. Dittmer starts 3rd tonight, Ross 2nd, Parmalee 3rd, Beagle 4th, Templeton 5th, and Taylor in 6th. Step aside and go to break. When we come back, it's feature time of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Warm-ups continue now. Here's a look at the times. Isaac Salas quickest at 13:89. Randy Shreves is second with a 14:09. Donovan Ross third, 14:10. Dillenberg fourth, 14:13. And fifth quick, Joseph Grandy at a 14:15. Checking in chat. Dino watching, rooting for FTM. Bill Calder giving me some good advice on how to pronounce Ludo's last name. Kim rooting for Isaac. There's a lot of fun going on right now in chat. A lot of good shenanigans. Zach, how's this track feeling right now? I notice you are currently 17th quick.
Yeah, I'm about to get a first lap or so in. I ran to the bathroom, but I'm trying to run the bottom. I think there is a little grip down there. Gonna have to try to do something different.
Put you up to 8th, and then, oof. Rest in peace, Zach Chapman.
It is hard to hit that button and turn, let me tell you.
Alrighty. We're ready to go racing. For the Rebels division, let's meet the field and give you your RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, it's Hunter Grand, Joseph Grandy in the 518. Next to him, it's Randy Shreves in car number 56. Row number 2, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83, and Shaggy Zach Chapman in the 72. Row number 3, Dylan Berg in the 14, and Devil David Ross in the 5. Row number 4, Slide Job, Isaac Salas in the 5, and Brian Moore Sr. in the 558. Rounding out the top 10, it's Greg Parmalee in the 4, and Michael Todd in the 117. Row number 6, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75, and the Big Dog, Ryan Beagle in the 84. Row number 7, it's the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747, and Steve Maurer in the 888. And in row 8, B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31, and Brian Moore Jr. in the 9. Rest of the grid tonight looks like this. You've got Cale Bixler, Gary Taylor, and Ludo Busol running out the field. Picks to win tonight, I am going to go with the man they call Devo, David Ross, coming from 6th on the grid.
Man, if you're going to leave him there for me, I'll take Grandy off the front row. Hopefully you put enough gas in it this week.
Possibly, we'll have to see. So, alrighty, man, best luck, and if you have to pull off, we will bring you back in.
Yeah, we'll hope.
So here we go. Flatline Racing bodies start just around the corner. Steve King Foundation Pace Truck is on pit road. For the second time tonight, it's time to shake and bake. Grandy and Shreves bring us to green. It's time to get it on. Grandy with the race lead off at turn number 2. Randy Shreves second, 4 wide for third once again at Lakin. You gotta be kidding me. Brandon Dittmer, meanwhile, challenging Randy Shreves for that second spot. Can the 83 get the bite off for turn number 2 to move up to P2? Not just yet. But he's got a really fast hot run as Dylan Berg punts Zach Chapman out of the way, and he put Isaac Salas out of the ballpark. Bixler has crashed. He's on his side. Donovan Ross has also crashed. Wow, wow, wow. We got a lot of stuff to break down here for you. First thing we have is Busseau going into the corner. Roger Craig catches the wall and catches Busseau. He is around between Steve Bixler and Donovan Ross. Says it in deep, and man, around he goes, and there is Donovan Ross with absolutely nowhere to go. Then here is a look, a lot of contact, and Salas goes out of the ballpark. There was a lot in that accident for sure. Real quick, let's ride on board with Donovan. So lesson learned, never have me pick you to win. Pace truck is in, ready to come back to the green flag. Grandy and Shreves, row 1. Dittmer Berg, row 2. Moore Sr. and Todd, row 3. Maurer Beagle, row 4. And Moore Jr. and somebody else rounds out the top 10.
Green, green, green.
Back to the green flag as Grandy's able to hold serve, and we're wasting no time. Look out! Holy moly, we got a boatload of them around. Roger Craig around. One couple of drivers around. That's Maurer in the background. Gary Taylor in the foreground. Again, wow, wow, wow. We got, oh, no! Are you kidding me? Steve Maurer just took out Joseph Grandy. Can Grandy get that thing refired? He can, but the damage may have been done. Wow. Let's show you what happened. I think the first car I saw around was Roger Craig. We'll try and get all this as we can in one. As Craig tries to go, Donovan Ross just gets into him. Round goes to 747. Then we get Brandon Dittmer. Is there contact with Brian Moore Sr.? There was, but Steve Maurer takes a wild ride in traffic. And let's show you Maurer here in the background. Around he goes, up and over. Now as we ride on board, he just has no control to at this point where you really should put it into the pits.
Green, green, green.
Then, oh, right into traffic. Obviously, Steve Maurer did not mean to do that. Oh, man, that's again, that's something you just can't do. So the new leader of this one is Randy Shreves after 5 laps. And oh my! Upside down. That's Cale Bixler. Luda Busol also involved. See what happened with Busol. There was contact with Cale Bixler. Possibly no. Bixler got a little bit sideways right in front of him. And that's what put Cale up and over. Right on board with Cale. So with all of this has been a wild race to break down here. So Randy Shreves, who picked up his first Renegades win a couple weeks ago at Lucas Oil, leads this one. Dylan Berg second, Michael Todd is third, and the Moors round out the top 5. Remember, top 5 eligible as long as you are under the required IL. Moore Jr. as well, up 11 spots at the moment. Set to come back to green. We'll watch this restart for the Chapman Racing drone. Here we go. Top 2 get great jumps. Michael Todd stays put in the 3rd position. Looks for a really good exit. Don't know if he really got it there. Todd, the only driver on the bottom to see if that can work out. Not really sure if that's going to, though. I think this is a trick. We're going to want to stay on the high side here, just like what the Moors are doing. Ryan Beagle, though, up to the 5th spot past Moore Jr. Templeton moves up to 6th, and that's not going to end well. The 2 go around. History from the heat race, and once more, it does not end well. This one, obviously, just a racing deal. Beagle tried to diamond it. I think one came down, the other came up. Right on board with the big dog. Just cannot get any good luck here in this series. We saw Greg Parmalee just get a piece of that as well. Other than that, I believe everyone else dodged the bullet. So I think this gives us a chance to take a look at the 5-lap average while we were at it. I know this is likely going to be really tight because of all the yellow flag laps we have had, but oh my, that is all over the place. Shreves, Dittmer, and Grandy are 3 best drivers on track right now, but Shreves is up by a landslide. So we'll probably update that after when we get to lap 15. Berg trying to look low here in time to restart, which I think he did pretty well at doing. Keeps the gap at 2 car lengths. Normally I like to say if you're the leader, you get a freebie on single file restarts. That could not be the case here. Berg underneath for that race lead. Can he get it off for turn 4? Clears Randy Shreves, new leader after lap time. Just in the nick of time as the yellow flag waves. And we got Joseph Grandy once again along with Michael Todd. Look at what happened to Grandy. Oh, an accident broke out in front with Michael Todd. Oh, what a hard impact for Grandy. What may have been the case with Mr. Michael? Was there contact with Moore Sr.? There was, and Moore Jr. The 09 does his best impression of Brandon Dittmer. And Grandy very hard in the wall. On board the 518. I'm going to say the same thing that I think I said last week. It's turned into a meme on Woe Nelly Productions on Tuesday night cluster trucks. I don't think anyone wants to finish in the top 5 based on the way this race is going. All right, let's get Zach back in here. Just said you had 12X, but you're still going.
Yeah, I got a thing where I guess Roger clicked clear all, and dude, I don't know if they've changed this, but now I'm back out here.
They've turned the lights back on the pace truck. I wonder if they're trying to figure this out here. So, all right, I'll put you back on mute. All right, let's hope this race ends pretty quick because the Yankees game is about to start, and we're hoping, too, the Renegades race goes caution-free. All right, let's try this out again. Now remember, the white flag doesn't fly till lap 30. It doesn't fly every lap. Berg able to clear on Randy Shreves. Brian Moore Sr. has moved up to 3rd. Dittmer's recovered quite well into 4th. And how about Greg Parmalee in the number 4? Hanging on to a top 5 spot well until there. Oh my goodness. Parmalee and Beagle get together after contact from Devo. But we stay green. The 2 spun into the infield. Everything is good. Not for long. Gary Taylor ramps off of Zach Chapman. And we've got a lot of color.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
I don't know. They were just... They're all acting crazy out there. I guess we'll just keep it at that. Chapman really slow in turn 2. Gary ramps over, then catches Brian Moore Jr. And here comes Steve Bixler out of nowhere. Now Bixler's just minding his own business, trying to creep at a snail's pace. He even has left side damage too. And he decides to run right into the wall. We're not even halfway home either. Let's see what that 5-lap average looks like again. Again, all over the place. Dittmer and Berger, your 2 best cars on the track without question. That's nearly a landslide to everyone else on back. Lights are off. Hopefully we can go 15 laps to the distance. We'll just have to see, and now we'll bring Zach back into this. Here they come back to the green flag. Berg fires, underway again. Berg holds serve. Randy Shreves trying to grab second once again from Brian Moore Sr., but is there any damage off the 558? Dittmer in fourth, and Ryan Beagle, even after the previous spin he had with Greg Parmalee, up in the 5th position. Not bad of a recovery from the big dog here, Zach.
No, especially after I run out of gas in front of him.
Oh my goodness me! Donovan
Devo.
Ross just took a ride for the ages. How many rides does this kid have to take?
That was wild. That might do it in for the 05 there.
Looked like it was a little bit too flimsy on Dingus. Just rode the wall and starts cartwheeling. Salas nearly catches a piece of it. With the way this race has gone, Zach, wouldn't surprise me at the end if neither of these drivers are above 200 in IL.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not going to be anywhere close, as this was the night of 8 tires turned better than 4 here. It's a tough night here at Lincoln.
It's just been one of those races. Heck, I even saw it last night.
Green flag, green flag.
Here we come back to the green. Berg able to hold serve on Brian Moore Jr., Sr. for right now, rather. Shreve still in 3rd, Dittmer 4th, Beagle still in 5th. I think all the drivers are pretty much spread out at this point here, Zach.
Yeah, Dittmer's trying to get a little itchy down there in the basement through 1 and 2. He's trying to find a way around the 56. Dittmer, I was out there running with him, and I mean, when he got behind me, he was all over me. That 83's quick. He just needs to find some clear track.
Absolutely. It's just tough to do so. He's got open space. Shreve's got a little bit tight, opened up the door for Dittmer. And Shreves does a little bit of a wheelie off at turn number 2. Move the 83 up to the bottom step of the podium. We've got 11 laps to go for Dylan Berg here, Zach.
Yeah, Isaac Salas, I think, got in the wall, though, in 3 and 4, and we got a mess.
Greg Parmalee also involved as well. Both of them seem to be done for the night. Show you what happened. Yep, Isaac caught the wall, no steering. Loses the top wing, and there is Greg Parmalee with nowhere to go. Another wheelie. And then up and over he goes. What a miss from Gary Taylor, though. That's on board with Parmalee. All right, so we got to do a little research here on Dylan Berg. Looking for his third win in the Coast to Coast Racing League. But never has he won in a sprint car on dirt. The last time he won, March 21st, 2023, he won at Circuit of the Americas in a truck. And I believe we were doing the truck trail back then.
Only 8 cars still alive, or 9 cars still alive here, I think.
9 cars on the lead lap. Everybody else here appears to be done for the night. This has turned into a junkyard, that's for sure. 10-lap shootout. Berg looking for his first ever Monday Night Madness win. Dittmer trying to move the 558 out of the way, possibly.
He's going to be the best battle for that lead. If he can find a way around Senior, I'm telling you, that 83, he's quick right now.
Randy Shrees, though, trying to make this a 3-man dance for the spot. Dittmer gets a little bit tight. Allows Morcini to pull away with 9 laps to go. As we look at the 5-lap average once again. And you can now see that Dylan Berg is the best driver. He's 8 laps away from his first ever dirt win, Zach.
Yeah, 8 laps away. Still a long way to go here. Anything can happen, but right now it's looking good for the 14.
Moore Jr. caught the wall in turn 2. Remember, he's racing Ryan Beagle for the final spot in the top 5 in the show. And now Dittmer gets a little bit tight. He's hanging on. Kisses the wall. He popped the right front, I think. But still hanging on, battling Randy Shrees for a podium spot with 6 to go. But Dylan Berg has the biggest lead in this race that we've seen. 1.3 seconds the advantage. He was very low that time in turns 1 and 2. Could he be maybe saving fuel?
Yeah, but when I was out there, I was pretty effective on the bottom, and so was Dittmer. I think that's why we're kind of seeing Dittmer when now he's in the wall in 1 and 2. He's getting shaky. He was so comfortable on the bottom, and now he's having to go up top to try to find a way around Senior, and just not as comfortable up there.
Top 5 spot could be on the line here for Dittmer. Just got to hang on to that puppy for 4 more laps. It's the battle for the bottom step of the podium. Great exit by the 83 this time. Just keep it like that, and he'll have a 3rd place finish likely.
Yeah, maybe even 2nd. It took him a couple laps here, but he got in the rhythm, and he's hitting his marks here on the top shelf.
Almost put her in the wall that last time by. As the 2 drivers have been wing to wing for many laps now. 2 laps to go. The lead, 1.5 seconds for Dylan Berg. And you know what? This team has been known for getting a couple of good wins lately. This Inferno Motorsports team. We saw Rick Mayne do it a couple weeks ago. And now the Vapor Trail. A&J Custom Creations. Number 14 makes his way through 3 and 4. We got a first-time dirt winner. Dylan Berg wins. Brian Moore Sr. 2nd, Brandon Dittmer 3rd, Randy Shrees 4th, and Ryan Beagle 5th. Biggest mover tonight, Brian Moore Jr. up 10 to 6th. In a wacky Rebels race, that's for sure. Here's a look at the results. Good run as well from Gary Taylor to finish in 8th. Roger Craig in 7th. Bottom half of the field, I think without question, the heartbreak of this race has to go to Joseph Grandy while leading. So, get your top 3 all in here, and then we will get to the interviews. And so we will begin with our third place finisher, Brandon Dittmer, in just a moment. Once we get the entirety of our top three, they're just all taking a photo. I think we can move these in. Let me double look here real quick. Yes, we can. So we got your top three. All good to go. Let's begin with Brian Morris. I'm sorry, with Brandon Dittmer, our third place finisher. You were hanging on to that thing in those final few laps. Saw you kiss the wall a couple of times there, Brandon. How were you able to regain that momentum in those to hold off Randy Shreves for third at the end?
I don't really know. I was like you said, I was all all over the place. Cars felt really loose there at the end. I was struggling to find any speed, and going back to the bottom, Randy was getting right back to me, so I had to go back to the top where I like to be. Wrecked earlier in the night. That kind of set me back. That's my own fault. I really probably should deserve a penalty for that. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, luckily came back. For whatever reason, it put me in ninth after that. I came back out in an immediate caution, and it put me in ninth. Don't know how that worked, but I suppose we'll take it.
Well, it's definitely a weird race, that's for sure. I think we'll leave it at that. Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Oh, you guys with the broadcast, Roger for Coast to Coast, Training Wheels Racing, all those guys over there. Isaac for letting me hang out with him. He's a great chat. Dean and the World of Outlaw Super Duke Car Series for the sponsor, and Bowman Desires for the amazing wrap.
Alrighty, man. Great job, and if you're able to run it, best of luck in Renegades.
Thank you.
Brandon Dittmer finishes third. Second place finisher, Brian Moore Sr. It feels like forever since we've had him on the podium. Zach, we'll let you take this one.
Mr. Wednesday night, man, a couple days early. How you feeling, Brian?
Hey, how's that, man? Good, man. That track kind of came around. I started hitting that bottom and really worked for me. Got me up to second place. But once I got up there, that leader, man, he went to the bottom, Dylan there. And I don't think I had anything for him once he went to the bottom, too. But that was fun. Hell.
Yeah, you know, this is one of those tracks that few on iRacing, but as we wear on here, transitions to the bottom. And, well, as we do that, Brian, how do you adjust your driving style? Do you start using the brakes, or are we just lifting off a little earlier and just sliding her in there?
It depends on how close I am to the guy in front of me. If I had my ruthers, I would just drive it in there hard as I can and then use the brake to keep it down there. But sometimes if I'm behind somebody, you know, you got to back out of it way early just to so you don't run into them. But yeah, I like to drive it in there pretty hard on these smaller tracks like this. I drive it in there hard, man, and just get right back on the throttle. But yeah, it's fun. I like these little tracks.
Well, man, you could tell you're having fun out there tonight, and to be able to bring home a P2, I know that's got to feel good, especially, you know, in the open setups. I mean, I talked to you how much you like the fixed setups, but to come out here and win or to get that podium in the open setups, man, that's a big deal. So congratulations, Brian. Good run on the P2, man. Who you want to thank?
All right, thanks. You guys for putting this thing on, Coast to Coast Racing. What is it? Fast Body Racing.
Flatline Racing Bodies this evening.
All right. Flatline Racing Bodies for their support in this stuff, and just everybody who's racing with us, man. This is fun.
Well, hey, hell of a job, Brian. Are we going to see you here in the Renegades? You going to transfer up?
I think I will.
All right, man. Give them hell. And if I don't talk to you after that one, man, I know when I'll talk to you again. I'll talk to you on Wednesday night, brother. Good luck.
All right. Thanks for the confidence there, man. But shout out to my brother Rick and his woman. I don't want to get her name wrong because I did that last week and I heard about that. So thanks, you guys.
Good run, Brian. Congratulations.
All right.
So Brian Moore Sr. finishes second. Now we get to talk to a first-time winner in Coast to Coast, or I'm sorry, first-time dirt winner in Coast to Coast. Dylan Berg, how's that feel, man?
It feels great, man.
Take
About
me,
time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about time. Take me through this race. Without a question, you were the fastest driver on track.
Yeah, I think if Joe didn't get hung up with that lap car when he was pulling in the pits, I think he would have been tough to beat. But yeah, once I could hit the figured out 1 and 2, I felt like I could just drive the car. 3 and 4 was my spot for sure. But once I figured 1 and 2 out, yeah, I felt like I could really stick all the way around the track. So
Were all those cautions throughout the race really maybe affecting you mentally? Like, I mean, I know you want to have some long green flag runs, but it was just like, one of those cautions breed caution races.
oh yeah, for sure, man. It's always nerve-wracking when you get all bunched back up. You don't know where anybody's gonna go or what anybody's gonna do. So
How are you gonna enjoy this one tonight?
I'm gonna try to race Renegades. See how that goes.
How about after this is done?
I don't know. I don't know, honestly. I don't get very many wins, so I don't honestly really know what to do with myself afterwards. It's kind of like that you don't know what to do with your hands situation.
Absolutely. Well, who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run?
I want to thank Vapor Trail, Inferno Motorsports, Justin Stoles. He's been helping our team a lot lately. JRB Designs, A&J Creations, Highline Cinematography, and Speed Factory.
Well, congratulations on this one. Well-deserved. Enjoy it. Best luck in Renegades.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Alrighty, Dylan Berg, a first-time winner in Coast to Coast Racing League's Monday Night Madness. We will step aside and go to break. When we come back, it's Renegades action on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion, trying to be at
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we were talking about it.
love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Welcome back to Lincoln Speedway. One more race on the docket tonight. It is the Renegades, our buddies at the Renegades. Brought to you by Dylan Westbrook Racing. We welcome you back into the booth. Marty Scala with you alongside Zach Chapman. So we got the best now set to go for 30 laps. What do you think it is going to take? Is it going to be track position tonight, Zach, or what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, track position for sure, but you got to make sure you've got racing room around you and you don't get yourself into that inside wall. I mean, we saw so many people hurt themselves by getting into that either inside wall or outside wall. So you just got to make sure you leave that little bubble around you. This place, man, no straight walls around here. It'll sneak up on you in a hurry.
Let's look at the points battle right now. With the drops in effect, it is great for Patrick Spangler. A 51-point lead at the moment on last week's winner, Chad Griggs.
That's
something with the drops in effect. You may not see that online.
That's crazy. That's something that we've kind of come to expect out of Patrick being at the top, but, not this dominant, Marty.
Yeah, absolutely not this dominant for sure. So let's get you a look at how the practice results look. Gavin Chatham, 13.255 was the speed he ran. 19 drivers with us tonight, as we are just about set to go with qualifying for the Renegades. First driver out on the track, we'll watch the driver, the Vanderbilt Racing highest confound pedals, Velocity Race Design 49, the Vanderbilt Master, Jesse Bandy. Here comes Bandy off to turn number 4, setting the bar here on lap number 1. Bandy goes with a 13.99 on the opening lap. Bob DeGood second, a 10th off. Ryan Beagle third. Dylan Burke now up to second. John Short to the top of the charts with a 13.90 on lap number 1. We'll see if he can improve on lap number 2. Bandy second lap at a 14.216. John Short 13.902 as Patrick Spangler goes quick time. 13.845 for the high side banger in the 39, bringing back that paint job. 13.845 for the high side banger in the 39, bringing back that paint job. 13.845 for the high side banger in the 39, bringing back that paint job. 13.845 for the high side banger in the 39, bringing back that paint job. 13.845 for the high side banger in the 39, bringing back that paint job. 13.845 for the high side banger in the 39, bringing back that paint job. 13.845 for the high side banger in the 39, bringing back that paint job. 13.845 for the high side banger in the 39, bringing back that paint job. 13.845 for the high side banger in the 39, bringing back that paint job. 13.845 for the high side banger in the 39, bringing back that paint job. 13.845 for the high side banger in the 39, bringing back that paint job. 13.845 for the high side banger in the 39, bringing back that paint job. 13.845 for the high side banger in the Blake Chapman, meanwhile, defending series champion, second quickest. Here he comes off for turn number 4. Does he have a better lap in him? Better in sector 1. Is it enough? Quick time! 13.843. 0.02 of a second he beats Spangler. Jesse Exon with a better lap. 14.01 to 8th on the charts. Here comes Chad Griggs off for turn 4. 14.19 on lap 1. He may have kissed the wall. That may affect his second lap. And it did not. 13.99 to 7th. And so we've got Jack Hit, Bob the Good, and Rick Maney, your pole sitters. But it's the Salesman the quickest at a 13.843. What a lap there, Zach.
Yeah, and doing it on lap number 2. You know, most people come out that opening lap, run it real high against the wall, and have a good lap number 1. And Blake, you know, able to still find improvement while going hard on both laps. That's pretty impressive out of the kid.
Set for Heat 1, brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Gentleman Jack Hit on the pole position, the 217. Next to him is Chad Griggs in the 270. Row number 2 is Shorty, John Short in the 51, and the Salesman Blake Chapman in the 20. Row number 3, Brad Waite in the 814, and the Bird to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Final car on the grid tonight, Gavin Chatham in the 99. So who is your one to watch in Heat 1? I got to guess without question Blake Chapman.
Yeah, Blake Chapman for sure, and it's kind of weird seeing Gavin Chatham there in the back. I don't believe he put in a qualifying time, so not too sure if he's even still with us here or not, but no, he's actually looking at the entry list. He's grayed out, so Gavin not even in the session anymore. So yeah, you got to think Chad Griggs, Blake Chapman, you're 2 to watch. That the outside in row 1 and 2, that's going to be fireworks.
That probably will be the case. So our Renegades will take an extra pace lap here before we go green. While we wait to get things going, take a look at the schedule real quick for what is coming up next week. Here on Monday Night Madness, we will be at Fallujah Speedway Park on November 4th, 7 p.m. start time here for Week 9 of the 12 race season. You can watch it right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Green flag, green flag.
Winner on pole, Hit and Griggs bring us to green. Heat 1 underway. Good jump from Griggs in the 27. Last week scored his first ever Renegade win. It was great to see his hits already gone all the way down to the 6th position. Griggs leads lap 1. Short second. Chapman third. Barker fourth. Everybody, though, makes it into the show as Jack Hick gets sideways and catches it.
Yeah, but they know that 270 starting on the pole here for tonight's feature. That's not what everybody wants to see. So got to go run him down here. You don't want him to win heat race number 1.
Nothing you wanted to see if you're Patrick Spangler either. Jeff Barker the quickest after 2 laps. 14.051 that last time by. Nice start for the Bird to Beast. Here comes Blake Chapman. Looks low on John Short. Can the 20 take away second? Not just yet on board the Salesman. Short tries the slide job here. We got a 3-car battle for this top spot at halfway, Zach.
Yeah, we do, but, you know, Shorty and Blake, they're teammates. They're going to race each other extra careful here, I'd think, as they're side-by-side going into 3. And John may be thinking, hey, if I can't go get him, maybe I'll let the kid go get a shot.
Probably be the smart thing to do right now. 3 to go, though, in heat race number 2. Excuse me, heat race number 1. Two have been wing to wing for many, many laps. Griggs is just watching this in the background, but still a car length and a half in front of John Short. This one far from over. We're coming to the checkered flag this time by. Could Blake have an opportunity here? Yes, he does. Chad Griggs gives him the bottom, but he shuts it on the final time. Short edges out Chapman for second. Barker fourth. Wade fifth. Hit in sixth. Wow, what a finish to that one, Zach.
No kidding. Blake got trapped down there in the basement, and Shorty, man, he came out of nowhere and took P2 back. That was a good run there for that 51.
Heat 2 brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. Bob DeGood on the pole position in car number 7. Next to him, Brian Moore Sr. in the 558. Row number 2, it's Dylan Berg in the 14, and the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in car 39. Row number 3 tonight, Jack Clevenger, he's in the 78, and the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. Remember, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat tonight. Again, so glad you could join us here on Coast to Coast Racing Network. I think we know what Stefan's favorite letter is, and that is Q. Either that or his cat likes to hit the Q button. Because I know mine like to hit different buttons at times. I don't know if he's got a cat or a dog or if it has a pet in the first place. Who are you watching out for in Heat 2, Zach?
Brian Moore Sr., I mean, speed translates. He had a quick car there in the early sessions. Dove off a little bit there in the features. The 14 was quick. But look for Brian Moore Sr. starting on the front row. I like his chances.
Green.
Winner starts on the front row next to Griggs. Green is out. This is one, if you're Patrick Spangler, you got to go from fourth to first and get this heat win. Oh, and he may have the chance to do it here as Berg and Moore Sr. get together. Look at this, fourth to first, wasting no time. Spangler leads lap 1.
The two guys I talk about get into each other here. And, well, Terry Landis, we saw that bottom work there. Didn't work early on in the heats, but if anyone's going to get it to work, that 161 will, and he's going to give it a shot.
And they bang again right in front of Clevenger, and the 78's the one to pay the price.
I am not going to mention one more driver's name here in any of the heat races.
All right, who's out front?
Nope, not going to get me to do it.
Who's in second? Who's in third?
I think Dylan's in third.
So we'll see if Dylan's the next car to go around possibly. But we're halfway home, 4 up and 4 down. Spangler is gone. 1.2 second lead over Bob DeGood. This may be the biggest lead we've seen from anyone in a heat race tonight.
Yeah, and it's not really a big track. It's very small, very technical. So just showing what kind of driver Patrick is and, running that basement 1 and 2. He's searching everywhere.
Man, Berg with just enough of a lane. That's up on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. And the 14 through to P2 over Bob DeGood.
I really thought it was going to happen there, Marty, after saying his name. There was not much room there up top, man, but he proved me wrong.
White flag waves, final lap underway for Patrick Spangler in the Training Wheels Racing number 39. This is just what he wanted, to start right next to Chad Griggs on the front row for tonight, and that's the case. Spangler, your Heat 2 winner. Berg second, DeGood in third. Great run for him. He'll start in I believe the 8th position tonight. Landis 4th, Clevenger 5th, and Moore 6th. Final heat race of the night brought to you by Mauer Farm Management. And on the pole, it is Rick Main in the Spirit Halloween 187. That's right, Halloween this Thursday. Mariah Carey a little bit excited. She is continuing to defrost as we speak. Moving on from that, next to him is Jesse X in the Pink Panther. I think the Pink Panther, though, has a Halloween costume on, dressed up as Barbie in the 127. Row number 2, the Bandy Boatmaster, Jesse Bandy in car 49. Next to him, Randy Shreves in the 86. Final row 4 tonight, the Big Dog, Ryan Beagle in car 84, and Barry Goldner in the 36. Who are you watching out for?
Well, I mean, Rick starting on the front row, that's slow-hanging fruit right there. But Jesse Bandy, I mean, we've seen him have his comebacks and then, kind of have a setback here. And, well, Bandy, he loves these technical tracks. And if this is a chance for that 49 to make a statement here. So maybe he can get around that Spirit Halloween machine on the front row.
Winner starts inside of row number 2 tonight. There goes the Steve King Foundation Pace Truck.
Green, green, green.
And here we go. Heat 3 underway. Good start for Rick Main. Immediately clears Randy Shreves for the race lead. Shreves now tests the bottom out. Can he lead the opening lap off the corner? Way too close. I think it was made at the line barely, Zach.
Yeah, just barely, but now coming out of 2, advantage 56, and no cautions in this heat race, so nothing's going to save Rick. He's going to have to get it going on the top shelf as the 56 he's got at the line.
Barry Goldner in the wall and turned off of turn number 4, so he's out of this heat race for now. Again, everyone makes the show, though, regardless. Actually keeps the 36 going. Man, Maine went deep in the corner, almost got in the back of Randy Shreves. On board that 49 to Jesse Bandy, trying to catch that 187. But Rick Main really good at tracks kind of like this. Remember how good he was at Lucas Oil a couple weeks ago? He should be one of the favorites to watch out for tonight.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, though, that he really does like a slick track, Marty, not to make excuses for him. He ages like a fine wine. He's better as the track ages. So maybe not his best track right now in this heat, but watch for Rick Main in the feature.
Man, Main really sideways off for turn number 2, allowing Bandy to close in and test the top out for second. Nice exit, though. Pulls in within a tenth of a second about. 2 to go here. Nice exit again off of turn 2. Bandy's cooking on the longer way around this racetrack. Nearly clips the wall, but rips the lip at the perfect time. Up to second goes Bandy. 1 to go for Randy Shreves here. That last lap for Bandy, a 14:05, quickest lap of this heat race so far. Looking for one more chance on Randy Shreves. That won't happen. Randy Shreves, your Heat 3 winner. Bandy second, Main third, Atkinson fourth, Beagle fifth, and Barry Goldner in sixth.
Man, too little too late for that 49, but he's going to be happy come feature time. He's got a hot rod tonight.
We'll step aside and go to break. When we come back, it's our 35-lap feature for the Renegades of the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Set to go racing for 35 laps here at Lincoln Speedway. Let's meet the field and give you the RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, Chad Griggs in the 27. Next to him, it's the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Row 2, Randy Shreves in the 56, and John Short in the 51. Row number 3, Dylan Berg in car number 14, and the Vanderbilt Master, Jesse Bandy in the 49. Row 4, the salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20, and Bob DeGood in car number 7. Rounding out the top 10, Rick Main in the 187, and the Bird to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Row 6, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161, and the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson in the 127. Row number 7, Brad Waite in the 814, and Jack Clevenger in car 78. Row 8, the Big Dog, Ryan Beagle in the 84, and Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217. Rest of the field tonight, you've got in row number 9, Barry Goldner and Brian Moore Sr. That is how the field looks. 18 drivers for 35 laps at Lincoln. Your pick to win tonight, Zach.
Gonna go with the high side banger, Patrick Spangler.
And go with Patrick, alrighty. I'm gonna go with, you know what? I'm gonna go bold here. Give me John Shore in the 51.
He's due. You're playing due theory.
Yes, he is due. Lights are off. We are set to go green, and we're moments away from the Flatline Racing Bodies green flag. Steve King Foundation Pace Truck is on pit road. 18 cages of cold metal with hot rubber at the corners are set to do battle for 35 laps. For the final time tonight, it's time to shake and bake, because where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast? It's showtime at Lincoln. Chad Griggs with the early race lead into turns number 3 and 4. Shreves and Spangler battle for second, nearly 3 wide for fourth, but it's Chad Griggs that leads the opening lap. First yellow flies on lap 2, and I think it's for Jack Clevenger, and that's 78, and it appears to be he flipped.
Yeah, it looked like the Big Dog maybe overdrove one a little bit, floated up, and got into the side of that 78 machine. And Jack hit with nowhere to go.
That's how the 78's wing got detached. Try to get that car to flip over. But with the leaders approaching, he towed it to the pits, but just yellow came out pretty quick there. Was hoping it would stay green, but unfortunately not the case for Clevenger as he brings out our first yellow of the night. First caution waves on lap 2 this evening. And so Patrick Spangler, another chance to catch the 27 of Chad Griggs. Only difference is Griggs is the control car for this restart. Steve Bixler rooting for the Desert Demon. Terry Landis was hoping for Shaggy, but he didn't make it out of Rebels. What Zach does here is, Mr. Mayor, is that even if he finishes in top 5, he won't race Renegades out of respect.
Yeah, and well, I mean, even if I could now, I'm not going to be eligible for quite some time after this evening, that's for sure.
And we have turned the lights back on the pace truck just as he went in, so we will not go to green this time. So Barney still has the caution in hand. They may have to catch up to the pace truck.
Yeah, they just told him to play it safe, hold that speed, and they'll just dilly-dally their way on around here. That's what I'm understanding.
So single file restart this time. Now we're good. Surprised it wasn't a double file restart this time, as that's since we completed a lap. But Griggs able to hold serve short, and Shreves bang once and twice. In the race for the third spot, the 51 a little bit sideways. Blake Chapman shows his nose underneath Dylan Berg, but unable to make the pass. He's stuck in 7th. Here comes the high side banger, pouncing on the high side lane. Maybe able to get him out for 4, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, he's called that for a reason. He's going to bang it down, but now the question is, when we run up on lap 30 through 35, is he going to have as much left as the 27? Is he nursing his stuff down there in the basement?
We saw Spangler catch the wall there in turn 3. Nearly ran out of cushion there. As they have been wing to wing for a couple of laps. Randy Shreves in 3rd, 1.5 seconds back. Griggs fights back and clears Patrick Spangler. So both grooves working in really handy right now. But Spangler crowding Chad Griggs as the 27 leads again.
Yeah, Chad goes up there and cuts him off, but, didn't do it as well as Patrick, and Patrick reeled him back in, and Patrick maybe thought he was going to go back up there and protect and going to go down, but Chad goes back down and blocks. It's where he's more comfortable in 3 and 4. So if you're Patrick, you just got to stick to beating down that wall, and you got to do where your nickname come from here. Is he's got it going into 3. Wow!
Just has to secure it at the line. That was not an easy pass without question. And he's got the lead by 0.2 of a second. A straightaway advantage, though, on 3rd place, Randy Shreves. Rick Main is up to 4th. He's up 5 positions. Nice start for the 187. Jesse Bandy all over him, though, for the spot. Same with Blake Chapman.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about him being a slick tracker. He likes that thing to look glassy, and it's starting to come to him here, but he doesn't have the mission complete yet. Blake Chapman, he's not going away. He's still side by side.
The salesman lurks low. He grab it off for 2. Not yet. Check that was 4. 10 laps complete here. Let's pull up the 5-lap average, show you who the best race car is. Not Rick Main, just barely Patrick Spangler over Chad Griggs. Then it's the rest of the field. Bandy and Chapman still side by side for 5th. And Chapman, you know him, he always likes to race the bottom of the first half of the race. Then when we get to like 15 to go, that's when he moves back to the top. That way he has more right rear in it.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what, I was talking about with Chad Griggs. Was he saving his stuff here? But now Patrick's getting to the point, over a half a second lead. It's even if Chad is, saving some stuff here, this thing stays green. He may not be able to run him down, Marty.
Rick Main with a nice slide job on Randy Shreves, but look who else is coming. 2-for-1 discount for Blake Chapman. May want to use that for your popcorn deal. But Rick Main edges out for 3rd at the line. 5 cars all under a blanket for this bottom step of the podium, and now Main's trying to run away with that.
Blake's going to do his best not to allow that, but Randy Shreves not letting Blake get up, and Blake staying committed to that bottom, not able to, really commit coming out of the corner, and he's losing speed, but he's got a clear lane now.
Dylan Berg on the wall in 7th. There may have been some contact with Jesse Bandy, but he hangs on to it. As we watch Chapman and Shreves in the battle for P4. Meanwhile, for Patrick Spangler, he is gone from Chad Griggs. 1.5 second lead. And now is in lap traffic for the first time tonight with under 20 laps to go.
And, you got to do this smart because you don't want to use your stuff up getting through lap traffic, but at the same time, you want to put cars in between you and Chad. So you got to race hard, but you got to race smart. And, man, with the big dog and Jack Hitt battling in front of him, this may not be too easy.
Bandy's found his way back around Berg to take away 6th. Rick Main still in that 3rd spot. Right now, your biggest mover started 9th in 3rd, up 6 spots. Second biggest, Brian Moore Sr., who started 17th, running in the 12th spot. If we compare lap times between him and Chad Griggs, it's been back and forth, but Griggs better in 3 of the last 5. Has to make up 2.4 seconds on the 27 as he is in lap traffic. Spangler working on Jack Hitt in the 217. No worries on that side of things. Go to the back of this pack. Brian Moore Sr., Terry Landis, the battle for 12th. Next target for Moore Sr. if he wants to gain 2 spots, Bob DeGood and John Short. Berg's lost some ground as well to Jeff Barker, who's got a great race car right now. Up into 7th if he can get past Berg.
513, man, it's glowing around the bottom down there. That green looks good along that inside wall, and He's one of those guys too. If he wants to step it up at the end, running that inside, he's gonna have some grip to bang down that wall if he wants to.
Look at the 5-lap average once again. Rick Mayne matching race pace with Patrick Spangler. He's cut the gap down to 1.5 seconds. Griggs hasn't really gotten past Barry Goldner just yet. Now he's able to clear the 36 from the looks of it. That lead for Spangler is at a straightaway, 3.2 seconds. The advantage for the high side banger. Next target is Jack Clevenger in the 15th spot. Barker with a new target for 7th. That's the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson. The Barbie girl around the outside in her convertible. Well, I don't know. Are they still convertibles when they got no roof? I mean, they have a wing on top.
Yeah, I mean, you can get your hand out of that. I'm calling it a convertible.
9 laps to go, meanwhile, for Patrick Spangler, the lead up to 4 seconds on Chad Griggs. There's the 27 off for turn number 4. Rick Mayne under a second behind. So that 187 lurking at a second place finish possibly, and same with Blake Chapman in 4th. Now, if we get a late race yellow flag, and I probably just had that moment, Rick Mayne could have a chance to win. Look at that, just lapped both Beagle and Head at the same time. Just what you need to do if you're the 27. Ooh, but look at Mayne though thread the needle.
You go in the middle, Marty.
Just thread that needle perfectly, and now is there with the 27, the battle for P2. Ooh, that may have been a bad exit for Griggs. Back on the gas as Rick Mayne nearly got second at the line. Half a car length into 1.
Oh, and you know, these guys mess around too long. A salesman's creeping in here, so these guys, they better settle who wants second and who wants third real fast.
The salesman's trying to come in with his telemarketer amount of calls. 5 laps to go. Mayne nearly into Chad Griggs. Could have been similar to what happened back at Lucas Oil a couple weeks ago when he was battling for the win. And I think it was with Griggs too, if I recall correctly. Meanwhile, it's been all Patrick Spangler since he took the lead from the 27. 3 laps to go, a 4.5 second lead for the 39. There's Spangler, and then Griggs is on a completely different screen. Here comes Blake Chapman underneath Rick Mayne. Not sure what happened last lap with the 187, but Chapman with a great lap at a 15.51 up to the bottom step of the podium. Mayne's car is fading from the looks of it. May have used up the right rear.
Yeah, and by the looks of it, going back and looking at that, he bounced the right rear off the wall on exit. I mean, he just threw a slide job in there that didn't stick, so that supports your claim here. He is just running out of grip on that right rear.
Here comes Patrick Spangler off for turn number 4. White flag waves. Final lap underway for the driver of the Training Wheels Racing number 39. Came into the night with over a 50-point lead. That gap will be extended without question. His 4th win of the season. He's won 50% of the races. Patrick Spangler, the winner tonight at Lincoln Speedway. Chad Griggs across the line 2nd. Blake Chapman 3rd. Rick Mayne is 4th, up 5 spots. Your hard charger. And Randy Shreves comes home in 5th.
Now, Marty, correct me if I'm wrong, but 1 caution, way to turn the leaf, man. What a show after that Rebels race.
Thank goodness. Thank you to the Renegades for making my night at the end of that one. You and I were both a little bit bummed after the Rebels race, and now we are we are satisfied after that. As Spangler gets the opponent victory lane. Oh, come on, pull him in the actual victory lane. There's an actual victory lane we can pull into.
I know. I hate
to heck
Patrick
with the
for
front
this.
stretch.
He wins all the time. Like, what is he doing?
We just having fun. Spangler the winner. Rick Mayne in 4th, your biggest mover. Jesse Atkinson also up 5 spots tonight from the 12th spot. Here's a look at the rest of the field here. Ryan Beagle actually spun in the race at one time, but did not bring out a caution. Finished 18th, 8 laps down. We've got
These
your
guys,
top
I'm
3.
sure they'll take their time. Yeah, they took their time getting here, though, man. That's tiring.
Yeah,
35
that
laps
definitely
here,
is
I'll tell
tiring.
you.
I can get it. Let's go Chapman to Chapman, Zach. We'll let you take third place, Blake Chapman.
Well, Blake, I don't know if you watched that Rebels race, but man, we got a different song in this one. A lot of green flag laps, kid. How are you feeling after that?
A little tired, and I definitely didn't expect that. I think it made it easier on myself by running the bottom up there. If I was up running the cushion, I think I would have been really, really wore out by the end of that race. But yeah, digging and clawing was pretty difficult tonight. There wasn't too much grip down there, so I had to hit it just about perfect. And when we did, we felt really, really good, and was hoping for a caution at the end, towards the end of that race, but didn't get it. And fortunately, we were able to climb our way up to third.
Yeah, now, if coulda, woulda, shoulda, but if we get a caution there at the end, were you geared solely for that bottom, or were you saving anything to try to go up there and burn the house down?
Yeah, I was strictly running the bottom with the setup I had in, and my spotter was telling me the leader's doing, like, I think at the end it was 15.6, and I looked down, I was running 15.5. So, I was really, really crossing my fingers, hoping for a caution there. But, shout out to everybody running the race tonight. We ran it hard, ran it clean, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, just as much fun to watch, but great job in that 20, man. You're able to get it back on the podium once again here, back-to-back weeks. So congratulations, kid. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank the parents for watching. Got to thank all the guys at Krite Sim Racing Team. Got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps, Andy at AJ Custom Creations. And of course, I got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. They got some of the best stuff out there. You can head over to their website and use code CART, that's C-A-R-T, at checkout for 15% off some of their very delicious popcorn. And I got to thank you guys for doing the broadcast.
Well, hey, great run, man. Look forward to seeing what you can do at the Grove next week. I know that's a real technical track, so bring your best here, kid.
I plan on it. Thanks, Shaggy.
Blake Chapman finishing third. Actually, you know what? I want to make a correction. I just got to double check. I think we may be at Fallujah next week. Or am I
Okay,
missing
I looked
something?
at it wrong. Maybe I looked at it
As
wrong.
of right now, our schedule still says Fallujah. I think I put in the option to go to the Grove and put Fallujah in as the finale once again. So we will see what management decides. So, alrighty, let's go to our second place finisher and talk with Chad Griggs. Chad, it was a good battle early on in the race with Patrick. Even on the low line, you got it to work for a lap, but with Patrick, man, it doesn't work on him twice. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was committed to the bottom. I actually, right before I got in my car for the feature, I went and made a little change to give it some more gear because I was going to try to run the bottom as much as I could. And I noticed that the top was faster when he got around me, but I wanted to kind of stick to my plan because I'm a little bit easier on tires down there too. So I did that, and then I was actually banking on cautions. This track breeds cautions like none other, and so I just kept thinking, all right, well, we'll reel him back in when we get a caution, and then we'll go to racing again. Forget that. That never happened. So yeah, he just checked out, and at that point there was no way. It didn't matter what I would do. I wasn't going to catch him without a caution.
Blake almost got you in that race too.
Yeah, I saw him coming, but it was pretty even there at the end, the lines that we were running, and I knew if I just ran some fashion of it, that it just widens my car up a little bit and doesn't really give him a good line to get around me.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Thank you guys for the broadcast, Roger, for the league, my team, Scott Thomason Racing, and thank Josh Whiteman with Finish Line Race Designs for my paints.
Alrighty, man. Great job tonight, and best of luck next week.
Thank you, sir.
Chad Griggs, your second place finisher. Now we go to Victory Lane to talk with your winner, the high side banger, Patrick Spengler. Zach's got an interview with him.
Well, Patrick, man, you're the first guy I didn't curse here this evening. Good to see you get it done. And, man, you really burnt the house down. Well, what was that tire percentage at the end? Did you take a look?
Yeah, she's at 55 on the right rear. So if there's a caution and sealed over, I would have been pretty screwed there. So usually how I lose, I usually just go all out. And then there's always like 2 or 3 cautions at the end, and I'm hanging on for dear life and usually blow it to Blake or somebody that's saving tires. So I got lucky there with only 1 caution, which is crazy for Lincoln.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth there. It really is, especially, I don't know if you caught that Rebels race, but quite the wreck fest there, man. So for you guys to come in here and only need that yellow flag one time, it had to feel good. But at the same time, out front, I know you don't want to caution, but man, how are you feeling? How are those arms, dude? I know the workout that is beating down that wall, and you've got to be tired.
The last 5 or 7 laps was getting pretty rough, and I was actually getting scared of it because I was afraid I was going to ballpark it. Because 3 and 4, I was jumping the cushion, and 1 and 2, right to the middle, was getting bumpy. And then it's always fun when you're racing with lap traffic like that, and rather them hold their line and have them be comfortable instead of just letting out. But at one time when Brad Waite let out, and then we were 3 wide, it got a little hairy there down the backstretch.
Well, man, you're able to cut through it like a hot knife through butter, and I believe we won here with a 4-second lead. So quite domination in that 39 here tonight. Congratulations, Patrick. Who you want to thank?
Just you and Marty for the awesome broadcast each and every week. Multiple days you guys do. Roger running the league, everything he does for the league often goes unnoticed, but he is the brain power behind this entire league for many years now. Training Wheels Racing with Jesse coming out tonight. Brandon with a strong finish earlier. Tyler couldn't make it tonight, but hopefully we'll see him out next week. The wife for being a trooper. Just got to bring home baby today. So first time he's at the house tonight since he's born. So that's always good. So won that one for little baby Mason there, and dad and uncle back home watching.
You got him his first ever sticker.
Yeah, first night in the house, and it's a win. So now I just got to keep the streak alive. Find a race tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah, I'm ashamed. I can't believe I forgot about you bringing the little man home. We're all excited for you, Patrick. Congratulations on that. So we know you're going to be a busy man, but I gave your teammate a hard time last night in a UMP league. There's a UMP series with your name on it on Sunday nights too, so you got to join up.
Oof. I'm sorry, not my style. I raced the wingless last night. It was pretty fun. I don't mind the wingless and pro lates. The modifieds, I don't know, like mud turtles, or you're hanging them way out to the right, and I don't know. I haven't found a modified I like yet. Maybe the asphalt modifieds.
Well, hey, good run, Patrick. We look forward to a lot more of these, man.
All right, thanks. Have a good night, guys.
Patrick Spangler, your winner tonight, as that concludes the night of racing here at Lincoln Speedway. Zach, final thoughts as we get set to sign off.
Well, a little sour there in the middle, but boy, did it end sweet. And Patrick Spangler, man, really treated us to a great drive. He did admit to it a little bit, but I can tell you these funky turns, beating down the wall like that, that's tough to do, 30 laps green flag. So heck of a run for that 39, man. He worked hard for this one.
So with that, we will bid adieu on tonight. Appreciate you joining us on your Monday night. Now we got to go and watch the Yankees implode right now as they're down 3-0, but I hope they make a comeback. So on behalf of everyone with the Coast to Coast Racing League, all the fine drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig, his great group of admins, on behalf of my broadcast partner, Zach Chapman, Marty Scala saying so long. Your winners tonight, Isaac Salas, as well as Dylan Berg and Patrick Spangler. So long, everyone.